All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. We're talking the newest episode of It. Welcome to Derry. This one is episode 4, titled "The Great Swirling Apparatus of Our Planet's Function." So, yeah, we definitely get we get a lot of backstory. We get a lot of stuff going on now. Yeah, it's
We
halfway through
finally
the
get
season, right?
Marge. Yes.
March. Yeah,
Hi, Marge. You deserve
yeah,
it. You need to get the hell out of here.
Frigging
You deserve
Marge.
yeah. March sucks. March
Marge is
sucks.
trash.
Yeah, hi Georgie.
that.
There you go. Fernando said love this episode. So yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna get into all the spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode yet, this one's got a lot going on, so make sure you guys check it out, come back, join the conversation. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment, let us know what you think. But we'll start off with Brandman. What you think about this episode of Welcome to Derry?
It was a little they kind of reeled it back in comparison to some of the other stuff that we've seen on previous episodes, but at the same time, what it lacked in the gore factor, it made up for in kind of tension and uneasiness, like the fishing scene.
Yeah,
that was probably one of the more standout instances in some of this season. The scene with March that we were just kind of touching on, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Totally
think just
deserved.
yes, she did. Friggin' stupid Marge. Just how they make you feel uneasy and kind of looking over your shoulder each episode, like, or just kind of waiting for when and if something bad's gonna happen. I think it does a really good job with that.
Mm.
That's
Anything
about
else?
it.
About it? Okay.
Wait. There was one more thing I was gonna say. What was it? Oh, again, the way that they're building up to everything with Pennywise, that we've seen in other It movies, and them just kind of like slowly building him up. It's really working. It has me anticipating the big reveal without losing any of my interest.
Yeah. Yeah, because we all know it. Obviously, it's coming. It's a prequel, so we know, he's got to show up at some point. So
Exactly.
yeah, but doing it where you're interested in how it all happens is a good way. Okay. What about you, Brian? What you think about this episode?
It was fire. It's my favorite by far because I don't like all that other crap. I don't need another birth scene. I don't need another birth canal. I don't need none of that, right? So, but this I thought was good because it had a lot of lore. It had all this lore kind of dumped into you. You understood what Pennywise's origin story. See how it worked with the people from Derry and what the Native Americans did, the intelligence of what they did, how they trapped it in the forest, how it all worked out. I thought it was ingenious. I enjoyed that much, dude. I loved what I saw from Dick Halloran, but I also hated what I saw from Dick Halloran at the end. And then what he did to Taniel, I hated that too. But Dick is just doing exactly what General Shaw was all about, and how General Shaw, though you see, like he seems like he's like Rose, because with their kids, they're all the same, right? But as they get older, your own interest takes over, and then you have that point where you say, "Well, I know better. I need to know this. I need to do these things," instead of understanding you probably should keep things the right way, because of the land. These people that have been here before understood it more. It was so much like lore. And then when we had Leroy Hanlon seeing the balloon, seeing what's going on, so he's going to interact with Pennywise. And it's funny because they talk about him not having fear, and every time he ran into it, he didn't have any fear. He was, matter of fact, I need to go save my son. Matter of fact, I see this. What's going on? I'm going outside to go figure out what's going on. He had no fear at all. So I think that's going to play a lot into it. And then we can talk about Hank. I knew Hank what Hank was doing. I knew he was bumping uglies with a white woman. I knew that was what was happening. That's why he didn't want to say anything. I'm telling you, it's going to be like the Chief's wife or something like that. It's not just going to be anyone. It's going to be someone that you cannot be doing it with.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all these things are all feeding into it. So if it was the Clint's wife, it's all feeding into it. It's doing such a great job on multiple layers. And I still think it has another connection to the Dark Tower. I think that's the real entity. They're looking for a weapon. And they don't, what's it called? The Galu that crash landed way before dinosaurs and all that stuff. We now know that is Pennywise. That is it, right? But that's not the thing that they're looking for. The weapon itself, I think it's going to be the Dark Tower. So I think they're going to pull all this stuff in. I love the references that we have to Shawshank. Everything about this thing, this series is great, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, they're doing a great job with this, where it's so complementary to the movies, especially this episode. This episode tied in that second movie so well, where like I feel like a TV show when they announced this prequel. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But it works so well with the movies, where I was like, oh shit, I want to go watch the movies again, because I want to see are there things that I'm missing, or different like attachments where you can kind of connect and be like, oh, this is this and this is why, blah blah blah. This is the whole purpose of doing a show, a prequel, or a side story to the main movie. This is totally like doing it so well. Yeah. What you got?
No, the just the way that it builds up, and you're learning more history about Derry itself. I think the flashback scenes are really, really good. Like the whole Native American backstory, that was probably my favorite part of this episode.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's what really impresses me, and I know I've said it many, many times, but just to kind of elaborate on it further, I think if you can do build up to something that, especially in the case of a prequel series, but if you could build up towards something that we're already familiar with, while still all the while holding our interest, I think you've really succeeded. And I think that's the reason the show is really working for me. The anticipation to see Pennywise himself, but the way he's kind of like infiltrated all kind of the nooks and crannies of Derry.
Yeah.
I think is what really makes it work, and him kind of like slowly like just kind of instilling fear and maintaining, that reign of fear over Derry.
Even that, no, sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, and like it really maintains that that idea of dread and just no one being safe.
Even like the kids figuring it out, or say kids, the one kid will figuring out like what's causing all of it is really interesting. So it's like, because you have the military doing their thing, and Halloran, once him and Will meet, it's gonna be like the two minds, like they're two halves of the puzzle, and then like they're gonna they're all gonna figure it out, and it probably is obviously gonna be too late by then. But just like them realizing it's the fear, and then also was it Grace? I forgot what her name is, right? Lily. I don't know why I always want to say Lily, where she realizes like, oh well, my mom's got some medicine to chill you out a little bit. I was like, but even that was like, okay, well, I can't, and Pennywise being like this crazy entity, where it's like, well, she's gonna take this medicine, so I can't scare her, but I know how else I can get to her, and it's through her, friend, quote unquote, and I thought that was a really interesting way. So it was like you're realizing how to stop me, so I gotta stop you, and the way obviously Lily's an easy stop because like make her look crazy, yeah. So I thought that was like that was wild. Like the way it ended was, I'm like, oh no, he said like, oh no,
It was
like
abrupt, right?
yeah, I was like, oh, like because usually you see it coming, like, no, don't do it because they're gonna catch you, red-handed, and that caught me off guard, which I enjoyed because like at the end I was like, oh damn, yeah, she's screwed, like she's so screwed,
super screwed. But it's okay because that nurse is going to help her out.
Yeah, and she knows some stuff. Even I thought that was interesting where they asked. Well, I think they asked the nurse the question about kids missing years ago, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." And you forget that's like something that happens in Derry, is where you stay there and you forget, So like stuff like that is like playing into it. But yeah, I just love how like even at the end of the episode, after you get this awesome backstory with the Native Americans and everything they did with the shards and stuff. And then it ends with like, how do I get to the pillars? And he's like, boom, through the house. The house is the gateway. I was like, oh shit, like tying it into the movies. It was and the house makes more sense and stuff like that. So yeah. So definitely really enjoying this show. And it's only halfway through. So
thank God. Unlike Talamasca.
One episode left. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Yeah, a few ones real quick. I want to bring this up for now. Said I'm worried for the wife. She's getting herself in a situation she doesn't understand.
Charlotte. She deserves everything she's doing. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte says, "Hey, you could say that you're having an affair with me," and not even talking to Leroy about it, because she's that type of person. I'm gonna do it for him, and not even talk to Leroy about it. I can see her doing that just to get him off. Charlotte's a problem.
She's the person who sees like an injustice and wants to, handle it. Because now I think we found out
about it.
Yeah, because we found out like she was arrested multiple times. Wasn't she in jail multiple times? So.
And at the risk of what? So she has a husband who's trying to make his career doing these things. She has a son who has to deal with her all the backlash of what she does. She doesn't put them first. She puts her own mind instead of thinking it out and trying to create something that she doesn't have to be the one going to jail for. And when you have those people that only, when you're an adult and you're a mother and you're only thinking about yourself and how it hurts the family, you're a problem. You're problematic. And that's why they had to go so far north, because when it goes south, you were dealing with even more stuff. Well, she's going to be problematic again there. Yeah. And I can see it happening. It's coming to a fall. And you know what? Whatever. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, she's definitely getting herself into a lot.
Now, I got something for you. I just want to ask you guys a question. Is it interesting that General Shaw is using all the minority people to be the main people going after this entity? So Dick, yes, it's fine. Leroy, yeah. What's the Hispanic guy? I can't think of what his name is.
Rich.
Yeah.
Is it Rich?
Exactly. No, Rich is the little Italian boy, but no, the guy who was the guy in the military that was in the plane.
Oh yeah. His name's escaping me.
Now, when you get the Native Americans, he's going using Taniel. You putting him out for going and try to set up Rose, try to get information from her. He's putting all them out front. It just I look at it and I'm like, it's in this time period where this is what people will do. This is what they think, and you convince yourself you're not the bad guy, but he's doing it to all these minorities. And I look at it, I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it's not Captain Paulie.
Paulie, that's it, Paulie.
Polly.
Yeah. But it's not coincidence that that's happening. So I
Mhm.
wonder how that's going to play into anything too. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't have this whole thing with Hank. It has to play into
Yeah.
this too. So I wonder what else is going to happen and how this is going to play into the town at all. If at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. You know, because they specifically like get like minorities.
Yeah.
You know, like because
You
like
didn't see
even
the
the
white
kids.
pilot out there with Dick.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
they found Leroy. Like, hey, Leroy, you just got here. You can fly a plane. I got something for
Here
you.
you go.
Hey, Paulie, you go out there with him too, man. I was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Why is he only sending all the minorities together?
Yeah, because but even the kids, because you got Will, like you said, you have the little Hispanic boy, like I think he's a Cuban, you know, who's it, Ronnie, you know,
Ronnie,
like you know the only like you know non you know is Lily, you know she's crazy, you know, or quote unquote, you know, so yeah, you know it's an interesting I think point to bring and I think they're even talking about stuff like that like well, you know, like with them like not having their own place, you know, or a place where they won't be bothered, you know, and then they finally give them one. It's like
but
this
when you
rundown
remember
place
that's
out in the middle of nowhere.
but that's a nice place. That's fine. But isn't that where a lot of stuff comes down? It happens. They have their own places. It's like a club and all this stuff. And
Mhm.
this is where it comes down and it's a fire. And I think that catches on fire, right? And that now it's interesting that Will, when he sees Leroy and he has all the fire burn on him, it's because that's where black people go in the military to this one place and it burns down. So we know that's going to happen. So it's interesting the way that he's doing all these things. I'm interested. I'm really interested to see where we go from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd watch the whole season.
Yeah. So yeah, so far it's just really, really good. You know, see Ace said that nurse is that child clown. I'm telling you.
You know,
Yeah.
you might not be wrong, man. I can see it.
That'd be cool. If they go, that's what the route they go. Because somehow they have to tie it into the Bill or is it Bill Skarsgård? Yeah, you know, Bill
Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård's like carnival person that he played, you know, so that's I think going to be in the next couple episodes. I think they're going to find a way, you know, where he's going to get his Pennywise manifestation. I think, you know, within the next 2 episodes. You know, we already saw a hint of it with the picture, but our little discussion of episode 4 of Welcome to Derry. We appreciate that so much. I know usually Anzo, it was Bigger for Entertainment, and O'Brien joins them a lot.
We're doing that tomorrow night. We'll
Okay.
do a breakdown tomorrow. We did the watch party last night. We'll do a breakdown tomorrow. We go scene by scene, talk about all the things.
You guys break it down.
And, you know, it's a lot of fun. So you can join us over there.
Yep. Yeah, but appreciate all you guys coming in, hanging out with us here. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let us know what you think about Welcome to Derry this episode, and you know whatever that trailer, you know whatever you think about what's going to happen next. We appreciate all you guys. Anybody in the live chat, we want you guys to stick around because we're going to move on to our next topic for the night.